Now, understanding that, this young rich ruler also makes a great assumption that there's something that he can do to inherit it. Now, here's something I want to make sure that we all understand. Some of us think that we can take eternity into our own hands, that there's something that I can do on this side in the temporal world that can guarantee my actions will give me access to eternity. That's something that the young ruler assumes, that there's some great work that I can do on this side that will guarantee that I will have everlasting eternal life beyond these boundaries and borders. So he's simply asking Jesus, hey, all I want you to do is tell me what good or great thing that I can do. So watch this, so that I can inherit. That word inherit implies giving him access to something he believes he has attained, something he is entitled to have. An inheritance represents something that a person believes belongs to them because of either their status or because of their accomplishments. This young ruler wants to know if his current status will guarantee that he will have eternal life, or perhaps that his current works, whatever his accomplishments have been, will guarantee that he will have eternal life. I want us to talk about what is required for us to have everlasting life that will never end. Some of us are caught up in that same attitude where this young ruler is today, thinking that it's what I do, it's the work of my own hands that will guarantee that I can have life forever. Some believe that their present status, because they're wealthy, because they're powerful, because they're influential, that status will carry over beyond these boundaries of the temporary life and will guarantee that they will have eternity. But I want you to understand, your status that you have today, or the accomplishments of your own hands, they are not going to lead you to eternal life. I want you to pay close attention to this. Look at Jesus' response here. I want you to stay with me here in this passage. In the following verse, Jesus challenges him and says, "Why callest thou me good? But there's only one who is good." And he says to him, his response to the young ruler is to do what is already written in the commandments. Here's a teaching point. For those who are striving to settle their eternal account based on what they are doing with their own hands in this temporal world, Jesus says, if you really think that you have access to eternity, then you should simply do what you know. You should follow the commandments that you are already aware of. Sometimes I believe that Jesus is kind of peeking into the background of this young man, because sometimes people are looking for a shortcut. They're looking for an option, something that will give them an option to do what they already know they should do. In other words, they're looking for an alternative plan. And Jesus simply says to this young ruler, hey, you know what the law says, you know what the commandments have taught. Simply obey and do what the law says. If you really are building this case on your status or your own personal accomplishments, simply obey the law. Do what the law says. Don't look for a shortcut. Don't look for an alternative. If you really want to have eternal life, simply obey the law. Now, this is what I find very interesting. The young rich ruler says, I have obeyed the law. I have done everything that I am required to do. And here's where I really find the confirmation concerning his attitude of feeling like he should have entitlement to eternal life. He believes that he has accomplished everything that the law has required him to do.